Let's talk Sarah J. Maas unpopular opinions.
So fair.
And they don't even look the same.
Okay.
Each one. Shut up. Just shut up.
Okay, that's not wrong.
My name is Sarah. If you are new to my channel, welcome. This is my friend Abby. We are both avid Sarah J. Maas fans.
Yes.
We've read every book in the Maasverse, and we want to talk about all of the unpopular or like just hot takes, I guess, is like the better word for it, because sometimes they're actually popular opinions, but it's more of like a hot take. Like people get mad over it.
Yeah.
And we just want to talk about, let's just talk about them.
Yeah.
How do you feel?
Yeah.
So the first one is that her books are overrated and repetitive.
Okay, no.
Each one has like a little blurb underneath, and some of the blurbs are like stupid, but some of them are really funny. So this one says, some readers feel that she reuses tropes in the plot structure across all series. So she reuses the tropes in the plot, especially the traumatized female protagonist with secret powers arc.
Okay, that's not wrong. But, okay, let's be real. What else would we want to read about?
I feel like
That's what I gotta say.
it's not entirely fair to say that she does that,
Mhm.
because all of fantasy does that.
Yeah.
Like, that is just a common reused and overused fantasy trope in arc, I would say, more than just Sarah J. Maas. And
I also feel like she has different levels of trauma, too, which is realistic to life.
Yeah.
You know?
And different traumas in general.
Yes.
Like, each character might be that, like, traumatized
Girl
with no parents and powers.
Yeah.
But it's all different things, I guess. Like, Farrah still has her family. They're just obnoxious.
Yeah.
But,
I mean,
like, Aylin's
yeah.
whole family is gone except for her cousin.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah.
Mm.
Also, sorry, forgot to say this. Spoiler alert for everything. Everything.
Just pop this clip earlier.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Like, sorry, forgot to say this, but please, if you have not read any of the series, do not watch this video.
Go read it.
And go read it.
Because what are you waiting for?
What are you waiting for?
They've been out forever. And I'm one of the OGs. I read them as they came out.
I even consider myself one of the OGs. I would say you because I read them back when we had the original covers.
That's so fair.
From your copies.
Yeah.
But
I remember senior year of high school.
Yeah.
My first day of school video.
Yep.
I'm holding either Empire of Storms or Kingdom of Ash.
Kingdom of Ash.
It's one of them.
Because we were friends.
Yes.
In high school.
Guess what? My dad bought me.
I remember you walking around with this massive
gold book.
And I was like, what is this series you're reading? And you were like, oh, you'll get to it. You'll get there.
It's not time for you
It's
yet.
not time yet, but you'll get there. So,
oh man.
Yeah.
What a good
time.
Yeah.
What a good time. This was way before TikTok was a thing, and I feel like nobody really knew.
No, they didn't.
Nobody knew how big this series was or how big it was going to be. But.
And ACOTAR was also coming out at the same time. It was beautiful. It was a beautiful time.
It was a beautiful time. Sarah J. Maas was releasing multiple series every year.
She like the reusing and like the cliche and all of that. Like she's the mother.
Yeah,
she mother.
Really is.
Okay?
She's mother.
She's mother.
So
I don't even want to hear it.
Yeah, seriously, I feel like I don't like that hot take. Next, Sarah J. Maas over relies on the mate trope. The fated mates concept is seen as a limiting real relationship growth and agency. Don't exactly know what that meant, but I would agree with that.
Yeah, everyone
especially to the A Court of Thorns and Roses.
Yes.
I know. It is supposed to be rare. It's supposed to be something like...
Yeah. I think Throne of Glass does it well.
Yeah, me too.
ACOTAR, trash.
Everyone has a mate.
Every single person. And it's supposed to be rare. It's okay for people not to have mates. And them to just be relationships.
Yeah.
We also don't need a book on them.
Yeah.
Like...
Yep.
Like, I get Feyre and Rhys. Are you proud of me?
I am proud of you.
Yeah.
Abby was a chronic Rysand user, and she has very, very slowly worked her way over to the correct side of saying resand. But that's also the problem of when you read it years ago. Before anyone knew about it. And
you make up your own pronunciations. Even though there's a pronunciation guide. I was like, no, that's not right.
No.
That's Reese.
Yeah.
No,
Rise.
Well,
You
I
used
don't
to
even
say
do
Rise.
it anymore.
I know. See, it is Reese, though.
Yeah, it is. Well, okay, for Reese and Feyre, yes, mates, cool.
Yeah.
Nesta and Cass, yes, cool. Everyone else, go away.
Yeah.
Like,
no, I'm excited for Azriel.
I guess.
You're not excited for Azriel?
I guess I'm just irritated at this point
Why?
of how long I've had to wait.
Okay, yeah.
And is it Gwen? Is it
Elaine?
Elaine? Can I just be someone else? Who cares about
Yeah.
these people? I'm just like,
I just feel
buy
like
Sand's sister. Bring her back to life.
Oh yeah. Anyone,
Yes.
honestly,
Yeah.
can. I just feel like the Artron sisters are so loved that it's like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It's hard.
I like the plot point of Lucien being Elaine's mate. Because I like she doesn't want him as a mate.
I am actually kind of hoping for the first time ever that a
they're
mate
not
turns down their their mating bond.
Yeah.
Like, I think that would be really interesting.
Yeah.
It's something that would help break up the mate. Like,
Yeah.
everybody's got a mate.
I also don't want her with Az.
Why?
Because I don't like the three sisters, three brothers thing.
Yeah.
I think it's really stupid, honestly.
I also do think that's pretty
I
stupid.
understand, and I think they would be fine together.
Yeah.
However, when I want her to say no to Lucien, her to go with Tamlin.
Dang.
Tamlin redemption.
Okay.
She can go play with her flowers.
I doubt that that's going to happen.
Gwen
I have a
and Az, I
feeling
guess.
it's going to
fine.
be Azriel and... I've always thought it was going to be Azriel and Elaine.
Clear from get.
From the beginning.
Gwen is just to throw us all
throw
off.
people off, to make them think that it's not going to go that way.
They were traumatized together or whatever the heck.
Yeah.
But no, I think it would be cool for a Tamlin redemption with Elaine being the sister.
I actually wouldn't be opposed. Some
yeah.
people are very opposed to a Tamlin redemption story.
Okay, hot take. It's really not that bad.
Yeah.
Tamlin wasn't that bad.
Yeah. Oh, we're gonna get there. We're gonna get there. Okay, so her male characters are all the same: brooding, possessive, morally gray, and extremely ripped.
Okay, they can all be extremely ripped. Who cares?
Some say there's little variation between Rhys, Rowan, and Hunt.
I would disagree.
I would actually disagree with that.
Rysand? Oh, no.
You did it.
Rysand. Rysand, charismatic, where Rowan is not.
Yeah.
Hunt is more like douche canoe vibe.
Yeah.
As opposed to charismatic.
Yep.
Like authoritative.
Yeah.
Yes, they're all right.
I do.
Duh.
Yeah, no, but I do think they're different. They
all,
do kind of all
they're
give
all
like the
brooding,
alpha male a
alpha
little bit.
possessive, but that's Fae men. Period.
Yeah.
That's like their.
That's like all of them.
All,
so
yeah.
is Cassian. So is Azriel, but we don't see it as much because he doesn't talk as much. But when he does, it does come out.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Just like
just a female thing.
The species.
Yep.
For them.
Oh, speaking of us just saying female, her writing is too flowery or cringe. The overuse of certain words, like male and female, is overly dramatic descriptions that are often mocked.
Okay, a little bit.
Can we just talk about the fact that she said watery bowels and Feyre had watery bowels? In the first
She's a real girl. Hot girls have tummy issues. Okay?
That is true. Hot girls have tummy issues.
Watery bowels.
But the watery bowels,
Yeah.
like, can you imagine thinking to yourself, like, also, like, what a way to say that she had an upset stomach.
Yeah.
Or even, like, bathroom issues.
Yeah.
Like,
That's
watery
true.
bowels.
I will say I do like her writing style, though.
I do, too.
I don't mind the male and female, because they're not human.
Yeah.
That's the point. She's
It's
trying
like
to
part of
differentiate
their-
them from the human species.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think it's
Like,
just her being extra.
No.
I think it's, like,
I
actually
like
part of
flowery.
the...
I
Me
like
too.
I like over description.
Yeah.
But that's because that's how I write.
Not too much, though.
Yeah. You know I'm a run-on sentence.
I
Add
guess,
every
but there
combo
are...
you can.
I don't know. There are some authors that I feel like, goodness gracious, do we need a whole chapter on describing the color of the sky?
Okay,
type thing.
fair.
You know?
Yeah.
I don't think she's like that, but I would say that there are some people.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, moving on. All the main girls are basically the same. Same argument, but for the women.
No.
Feyre, Elaine. No. Elaine? Not what I meant. Feyre, Aelin, Bryce. But they're all the same.
No. Feyre, pathetic. Love her. Love her.
But she's not Aelin.
She's not Aelin in any way. Aelin is an actual, like, alpha female.
Yeah.
Where she is outgoing.
Yep.
Alpha. She is the queen. Whereas Feyre isn't. And Bryce is more of, Feyre, like, the party girl type of vibe.
Not.
Everything's kind of a joke.
Yep.
You know.
Yeah, they're very different.
Yeah.
I feel like they give...
Just because they're all pretty girls who are overpowered.
And they don't even look the same.
No.
Feyre has, like, golden brown hair. Aelin has blonde hair. And I picture Feyre as, like, skinnier, but also, like, a little bit curvier. Aelin, I picture, like, really skinny.
Yeah, like
very
acrobat
petite
type of body.
Yeah. And then Bryce, she's a curvy queen.
Yeah.
She is.
Which is, she's tan skin, curvy,
red hair, long red hair,
and like the personality of a frat girl.
Yeah.
Frat girl, sorority girl.
That's frat girl. Like a frat boy, but a girl version.
Yes. That's different than a sorority girl. You know, Feyre, she's got some junk, but she's skinnier.
Yeah, that's how I picture too.
Blonde hair, or golden brown hair.
Yep. Aelin's blonde.
Like, there's skinny, muscular.
Yep.
And their personalities are all different.
Yeah, I don't,
and they all
agree with that.
They do all have different backgrounds.
Yeah.
So I don't even want to hear it.
Yep.
No, I don't like that.
The next one, the found family trope, is forced.
No.
Some feel these dynamics are rushed or overly perfect, rather than earned naturally.
Found family is probably my favorite trope.
It is probably it's top
up there.
It's up there. It's probably top 3.
Yeah.
In fantasy or even in romance. I love
found family.
A good romance book with found family too. So I feel like for me that's like one of my favorites, and I don't feel like this feels that way.
No.
Especially when you're first introduced to the Night Court and to all of his friends at the House of Wind?
Specifically for?
It's all of them.
All of them? Okay.
Yeah.
The House of Wind.
That's when she's introduced to them?
Yes.
Okay. That's what I thought.
Yeah, after the wedding.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And I feel like I don't think that it's forced. You can almost feel... I actually love how you can feel Rhys's connection with each individual person through his interactions with them. And, like... Feyre asks about each person, like, as she meets them.
And has her own relationship with each one of them as well.
Yeah, I don't know. So, I didn't think that it felt forced at all.
I don't even want to hear that with TOG.
Yeah.
You're going to tell me
I don't agree
Lysandra and Aelin aren't found family?
No. Manon?
Manon?
Are you kidding me? Manon Blackbeak? Not found family?
Come on now.
Okay.
A lead? Shut up. No. That's so just wrong.
That is absolutely ridiculous if you think that was too easy of found family. Yeah. I just do not agree.
I feel like there isn't that much of found family in Crescent City. Like...
Not that doesn't die in the first 100 pages of the book. I mean, that was her found family right there.
And
Danica.
She killed them.
They gone. Bye. Connor. I know. Connor.
I remember reading that with you.
Connor.
Weren't we on FaceTime together when we were reading that? Or you weren't reading it yet, but
I don't think I was reading it yet.
But I was reading the first
You read the first one.
I think I'm first on FaceTime with you, and I was just like...
You're like,
no. What? She just killed the love of my life.
I feel like you would have been mated with
Connor?
Because he was like 100. Sorry.
Anyways.
There was a... You would have, though.
No,
he was 100% your character right there. That was... Yeah.
Yeah. Rest in peace.
Rest in peace, Connor.
Fly high.
Did you like his brother?
Ethan?
He's
alright.
Okay. You didn't love Ethan?
No.
Okay. He did give similar vibes to Connor, though.
Yeah, in the ways I don't like.
Okay.
Yeah. Connor... Okay. No, okay, so, like, Ethan was like a puppy. Connor was like a big dog.
Okay. Okay. Got it.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I do get that.
Yeah. No, Connor, 100%. Connor and Cass, those are mine.
Yeah.
Those are mine.
Yeah. I don't know. I have a hard time picking. I feel like I change on it.
Uh-huh.
I still have always loved Asriel.
Connor.
I can't wait to get Az's book, though, because
That
I might
will
change my
change
mind once I get his book. I feel like I could either love him more or be like,
Yeah.
nope, he's not.
Yeah.
He's not my favorite. I don't know.
Yeah.
It'll just be...
Yeah.
It'll be very
Now I'm
interesting.
thinking about all the men.
Yeah,
like Connor and Cormac.
Oh, yeah.
Those would be mine.
Isn't he, like, Irish or something? Scottish?
Those would be mine.
Yeah. Yep.
And then
He's got an accent for
it would
sure.
be Adian or Lorcan.
Okay.
Or Cass.
You love Lucian.
Cass and Lucian.
You love Lucian.
So I like the idiots.
That is hilarious. There's going to be a question later on that I feel like you're going to like.
Okay.
Okay, she romanticizes toxic relationships. Character like Rhysand and Rowan are called out for being controlling or manipulative under the guise of quote-unquote protection.
I can agree with that a little bit.
I also can agree with it a little bit, and I feel like we've talked about this before, but it really shows when you see Rhysand from somebody else's perspective.
Yes.
And not Feyre's perspective.
Yes.
Like when you read Rhysand from
Nesta?
Nesta or
I don't
even,
like him.
even Bryce.
Yes.
When you read Rhysand's POV,
There's not the
or
rose tint.
Rhysand from Bryce's POV, you're like, wow, maybe Feyre loves him because they really are mated. So she just sees sees a different version of him than anyone else.
Yeah.
Because,
Yeah.
okay, I love Rhys.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. I love
He was
Rhys.
one of my first loves, in fact.
Yes, and one that I will still never get over
Yeah.
to this day. Like, reading
Yeah.
the first 3 A Court of Thorns and Roses books, it's so hard not to fall in love with him, especially in A Court of Mist and Fury. It is really hard
Come
not
on,
to.
A Court of Mist and Fury. I don't want to. No.
I don't even want to hear it.
No.
How can you not? How can you not? I don't know.
The fact that she was so easily able to make us hate Tam Tam
Yeah, seriously.
and love Rhys.
Yep.
Come on now. Come on. But I do think they can verge on.
I do think they can verge on the toxic side.
Yeah.
But also, I can see it a little bit with
Ron.
Ron. Yeah, yeah.
I never found a problem. This might be a hot take. I never found a problem when Rowan decked Aelin and Bitter.
Oh,
They were training.
Yeah.
I do not care.
I
They
also
weren't-
never really saw a problem with that. And some
Everyone-
people do freak out about that.
A lot of people do.
Yeah,
And
that was
I
an
never-
Air of Fire, wasn't
yes.
it? Yeah,
They're
it
not
was.
together.
No.
They're training.
Yep.
They hate each other.
Literally, they hate each other.
She did just as bad, pretty much.
And yeah, I think
Like,
she started it.
Yeah.
She started the fight
Yeah.
during training,
It's
so
not
it was just like...
they were together and he's decking her in the face.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, no.
I also felt like that
Yeah.
was different. Okay. She doesn't handle diversity well. Critics say that she only started adding diversity when called out and still doesn't go beyond surface level representation. I don't think I agree with that either. I don't think that I agree with that, especially with TOG. I feel like there was...
There's plenty of people of color. There's
Also,
plenty of sexual
okay,
orientations
ACOTAR,
and species and...
I don't know.
I also...
ACOTAR also has different races and colors. I feel like they don't...
I mean, literally the different courts.
Yeah,
Which
have
makes
different...
sense.
Yeah, I agree. I don't know. I don't fully agree with that.
Yeah.
But maybe they just mean her main characters.
Maybe. Yeah, maybe. I also... I don't... This sounds bad. I don't care.
Yeah.
Because I'm reading... It's fantasy.
Yeah.
I'm not reading for representation necessarily. Like, I'm not.
Yeah. Yeah.
So...
Yeah. And if that bothers you that much, then I guess just don't read.
Yeah, you don't have to
Just
read
don't pick her books up.
I don't know.
But I do think you're missing out on story.
Yeah. I'm reading for the plot. And it's in a fantasy world, so, like,
Yeah.
all roles can be different. So,
Yeah.
things that happen in, like, this world and this life
Yeah.
don't necessarily need to translate into that one
Yep.
to where representation is needed, in my opinion.
Yeah. That's just my opinion, too. So, who are we?
Just a girl.
Just a girl.
Reading a book.
Plot twists come out of nowhere. Like Bryce being a starborn something. Or Aelin's plan always being 5 steps ahead. Some readers feel it's more shock than substance.
No. Not for Aelin's.
I also
I'm a diehard TOG. Like, that is
me
my favorite
too.
book series,
Me too.
period.
So it's just like
I will ride for that series.
Yeah, me too.
So,
I also, like, I can see how ACOTAR could use a lot of work.
Yeah.
In certain
and definitely
aspects.
Crescent City.
And,
I feel like Crescent City a lot. Yeah.
Yeah.
But maybe
But
because
Throne of
TOG
Glass,
is so long.
Maybe.
And so
but it had more time
through and like
Yeah.
all the connections.
Yeah, I don't know. I just don't.
Yeah.
I don't feel that way about Throne of Glass specifically. And I don't really know how I feel about Crescent City on that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, I feel like her being Starborn was, like, literally one of the main parts of the whole book.
Yeah.
Was it not?
Yeah.
Was it not, like, a main plot of the book?
And let's be real. Plot twist come out of nowhere. Girl, she ended up in ACOTAR.
Yeah. Prithian.
You want to tell me that wasn't one of the best
plot twists ever?
Ever? Come on now.
Yeah.
No, that was... What's it? Megaverse now.
Yeah, multiverse.
Multiverse. That's
Yeah.
for, yeah.
It is. Yeah. And I love that. That's why they call it the Maasverse.
Yeah.
Because it's a multiverse.
Yeah, and no one knew that until it was time for you to know that.
I know. Or you shouldn't have.
Yeah.
Hopefully it didn't get spoiled for you, but for a lot of people it probably did get spoiled.
Oh, yeah. For sure.
But not for us.
Because we were OG.
I literally read that, the second book, like, the day it came out.
Yeah.
And I was like,
oh, I know. You were... I wasn't reading fast enough.
I was freaking out.
Yeah.
You had not finished it, and I was like, girl, finish it. Like, you're gonna freak out when you finish this book.
Yeah. I remember FaceTiming you.
I know. And finally, I'm like, please, finish this book. Oh, so good.
Yeah.
Okay, now we're on to Throne of Glass specific unpopular opinions. So,
I'm gonna get mad.
probably.
Okay.
Aelin is a Mary Sue. She's seen by some as too perfect, too powerful, and always right.
Shut up.
Yeah.
What?
I feel like... Okay.
What does that even mean?
Okay.
Like...
I feel like I can only agree with that when I think about how young she is.
Fair.
And think about, like, okay, that is pretty fair. Like, why is she always right? She's like 16 years old when the book starts out. I think so. Was she 18?
18.
Still. Yeah, 18? Like, that's still... There's very little difference between 16 and 18.
Fair.
So,
I just
feel
age her up
like...
in my head. She's my age when I'm reading it. Whatever age
I
am is
have
what
to
she
think
is.
about Throne of Glass. I feel like...
Yeah.
For some reason, I thought she was 16.
Yeah.
Maybe it's because, like, Sarah J. Maas, like, wrote Throne of Glass when she was, like,
that
17,
young,
16 or 17. I don't know.
Well, and Aelin's personality is definitely more... Because she's, like, playful and, like...
Yeah.
It kind of can come off as, like, immature.
Yeah.
So
I do get it to a certain extent, but at the same time, like, she is in a very interesting situation. Like, she's gone through a lot to get where she's at by
since she was like
18.
8.
She's literally had to figure life out on her own since she was a kid.
And, like, a not good life.
Yeah, terrible life.
Like,
so... I kind of get that one, but only to an extent. And also, whatever. It is what it is.
Yeah.
I don't know. Don't come at Throne of Glass.
No,
okay.
no.
Okay, this says, Roelin is toxic. Their relationship, especially early on, is viewed by some as emotionally manipulative.
Shut up. That's just gonna be my response for all these questions.
Just shut up. Just shut up. Like, who's even saying this? Makes me mad.
Emotionally abusive is crazy.
It is really crazy because...
No.
I would like to see, like, the
show
receipts.
Me... Yeah. Show me
the receipts.
And then maybe I'll agree with you. But all of the things that I remember is a supportive person who cares, who doesn't want her to die.
Even though he definitely does pretend like he doesn't care.
Well, in the beginning, for sure. I mean, yeah. He's not going to bare his soul. His mate died.
Well, also, there was
their unborn child.
There was reasons that they hated each other.
Yes.
From the start.
Yes.
Like, they had reasons that...
Yeah. Oh, remember when she kissed her cousin? Dorian.
No. Dorian?
Is Aelin's cousin.
Well,
I forgot about that. Oh.
Technically. Rowan's in the family line, too.
I know. Actually, I don't actually think.
Really?
Yeah.
Thought there was distant relation.
That's what I thought, too. And I think it was proven somehow that it actually wasn't because of who, like, Maeve is his aunt.
Yeah.
But Maeve is actually not related to Aelin.
Oh, okay.
Because Maeve is not actually... I could be in, like, deep lore right now that I'm not remembering correctly.
Okay.
So
You're like, I'm going to stop there.
But that could just be, like, my brain on that.
That is very interesting.
Yeah, but that could be wrong. Don't listen to me.
I actually want to...
I gotta Google. I have to Google this. Because maybe I'm wrong.
When I Google it, it does say, yes, they are related, but not directly by blood. Rowan Whitethorn is a Fae, I know, Prince of...
Dornell.
Yeah, Dornell. A warrior, and eventually becomes the consort, mate, and husband of Aelin Galathynius. Aelin Whitethorn Galathynius. Oh, goodness.
Aelin Ash River.
Ash River Whitethorn Galathynius, thank you.
Some respect on her long name.
Yeah, I don't know.
Whatever. That was just... I swear. Like, is it Maeve, like, one of the wives of one of the people and not actually... Because Aelin's related to Mab or one of the other one. You know, there's the three sisters.
Yes.
But Maeve is actually not one of the sisters. She created another sister. Am I, not thinking
no, you're right.
now?
Rowan and Aelin are not related by blood.
Yeah, okay. See, I was right.
They are mates, lovers, and eventually husband and wife. Yeah, it doesn't say anything crazy. It doesn't get into their thing. It just says, like, Aelin is the Queen of Terrasen and the main protagonist in the series, but no familial relation. They are romantically bonded, not related by blood. I feel like they wouldn't be able to be bonded if they were related. That would be very strange.
Yeah.
Very, very strange.
Whoever controls the mating, like the gods who create that.
Yeah. It'd be like, interesting choice.
Hot.
Yeah.
No.
Jumping a little bit into Cassandra Clare there.
Yup.
Yeah. Okay, next one. I already know how I feel about this one. Chaol deserves better. Some fans feel he got sidelined and unfairly... Oh. What?
Vilified.
Vilified? Oh, I see. I'm like, I was thinking... No, I kept reading the wrong word. Verified. I'm like, verified? What? Not at all what that says. Okay, some fans think that he got sidelined and vilified unfairly after being a love interest to Aelin. Selena. Whatever.
He got his own book, number one.
He did get his own book.
However, I do agree with this prompt.
I actually do agree with this. And I feel like...
Because I remember hating him.
I also did not like...
You called her a monster.
Yes.
You're the monster. Like, she is kind of a bit of a monster.
She's a bit of a monster. But, okay.
She's not like...
When Chaol realizes that Selena is actually an assassin. She just doesn't just call herself an assassin.
Yeah.
Like, she's actually an assassin.
Yeah.
When he's like, oh, I'm going to date the world's most... notorious assassin. And then he's like, you're actually killing someone. People. Like, yes, she's an assassin. What did you expect? Anyways,
come on now.
After that, I did think, like, okay, he's a little ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
I just didn't love his plotline after he leaves.
Mm-hmm. I love Tower of Dawn.
Oh, I love Tower of Dawn.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know what was happening there. Tottered on. No, I mean after he leaves in the beginning. When he leaves the King of Otterlin and goes back to his dad. Mm-hmm. Right? Mm-hmm. That happens in Air of Fire, I think.
Something like that, yeah.
Because it's after Yeah, it's either Heir of Fire or Queen of Shadows, because we know Queen of Shadows is when Dorian gets the collar and the whole stuff there, and Chaol's not at the he's no longer with Dorian and his dad.
Yeah.
The King of Otterland, also known as Dorian. Now we know. Now we know.
What a twist.
What a twist. Can we talk about that? So he would remember his own name. That was wild. That was wild. But yeah, I didn't like him in the beginning, but I personally, and I just talked about this, and I did a Sarah J. Maas reading order video on like all of the books and all the different reading orders for TOG and like all of that. And in that video, I said that unpopular opinion, but I loved Tower of Dawn. Like, I loved it. I thought it was great.
It's one of my favorite in the series.
Yeah, me too. And that, I've never heard anyone else say that.
That's why I think a Tamlin book would be fine.
Me too.
Because
and
whatever she says
I don't
goes for me.
understand why people hate Tower of Dawn so much. How do you hate it? First of all, we see... What's her name? Y?
Nestrum?
No.
Irene.
Thank you. I'm like, starts with a Y. We see Irene after the Assassin's Blades. Last we heard from her. And getting to see her plot line. I think Irene saved the book.
She saved everyone's lives.
She saved everything. She saved the world. Irene is one of my absolute favorite characters of the whole series. I love her so much. And I think that's why I love... No.
What's her name? The girl Dorian loves who gets beheaded?
Oh, yes.
She just reminds me of Irene for some reason. Because she was a healer, too.
She was a healer. Yeah. Wait, what book was that in? Queen of Shadows?
No.
Did she get beheaded?
No. I think Heir of Fire... I want to say... Was Selena still there?
No.
Then it would have been...
No, it was after, because Dorian had powers. Remember?
It was when he was finding out he had powers.
Yeah, he had his ice magic.
So that was before he got collared.
Yeah, so it had to be Heir of Fire.
Or Crown of Midnight.
Or Crown of Midnight. Actually, might be Crown of Midnight.
No, because Nehemia was the death in that book.
Yes, that one got me bad. I was so sad when Nehemia died. You know, the crazy thing is, I just in the last, maybe it's actually been longer than that. I did start a reread, and I'm on Queen of Shadows, but it was a while ago, and I stopped my reread. So I can always go back and reread again.
Yes.
That is...
I'm going to do a reread. So
that is always an option. Anyways, moving on. Manon should have been the main character.
No. Let's all be honest. When you read Heir of Fire for the first time, you did not care about Manon's chapters. You wanted to skip over them.
Yep. It's the truth.
Every single person I've ever talked to about Heir of Fire, they're like, who's Manon? I don't care about Manon.
Why is she in here? I don't care about her.
Her story in the beginning is kind of lame. It's kind of boring.
Yep.
No, main character? No.
Now, I would love for Sarah J. Maas to now write Manon's story.
Yeah.
And to jump into either, whether it's backstory on her life, like, when she was young, or even, like, what happened after the fact. I mean, she lost the 13... She lost Astrid. Like, it would
I would love some stories with the 13.
I would too. I would love stories with the 13.
Yeah.
So I feel like if she's going to jump back into TOG and write about a character's backstory, Manon is probably the one I care about the most.
Yeah.
Irene, we already see her backstory in Assassin's Blade to Tower of Dawn. You have to fill in the blank, but I mean, we know where she started and where she ended. I just feel like Manon would be one of the best characters to get her backstory. But no, she shouldn't have been the main character.
Because Dorian's not going to live long. He'll live longer, but he's not Fae.
Yeah, you're right. I forgot about that. I was about to be like, why? Why is he going to die? How do you know that? Yeah, because he's not Fae.
He's not Fae. So him dying in her...
Yeah, he's going to live longer, though.
Yeah,
because he has magic.
In his blood, maybe?
I think.
I don't know.
But he's not fully Fae.
No.
Like, Aelin, Rowan, Adian.
Because Aelin's animal is just a human. That's why she was able to be a human for all those years.
Which that plot point, I could see people being like, that's a stretch.
No. I like that plot point.
I like that plot point too, but I'm
Yeah.
just saying, I think that could be.
Yeah.
Okay, Dorian and Manon were a forced couple.
I could agree with that.
Some people think that their relationship was rushed and lacked chemistry.
I wouldn't say it lacked chemistry.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it lacked
think
chemistry
they
either.
Some chemistry. Mr. Phantom Hands.
Chemistry.
But I would say it was probably a little forced. It felt like, okay, Dorian needs someone now,
And so did Manon.
so let's put them together and, like...
But of all the people in that universe
Yeah.
that we knew,
Yeah.
I do think Dorian's the only one I could have ever seen Manon
Yeah.
falling for. Who?
No, that would have been so bad.
Who?
Lorcan.
I knew you were going to say Lorcan.
Because he's mean.
I knew it.
And I feel like she's...
They would have just bullied each other.
yeah, and I like that so...
They literally would have just been so mean. Did you know that Lorcan's like 7 foot something?
Of course I know that. And Aaliyah's like, 5 foot nothing.
So short.
Yeah.
He's literally like double her height, but okay. Whatever.
So Lorcan did.
So Lorcan did.
What did he do?
Okay, moving on to ACOTAR unpopular opinions. Feyre and Rhysand are not couple goals. Their dynamic is seen as emotionally manipulative, and some, especially in A Court of Mist and Fury. Oh, by some, and especially in A Court of Mist and Fury.
No. I will say Rhys made some really stupid decisions.
Under the Mountain.
Under the Mountain, for sure. When she was pregnant.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
That, I was like...
It actually, that did make me really mad. The
Yeah.
whole, like, her being pregnant and him not telling her the dangers. But it made me really mad in A Court of Silver Flames.
Yeah.
From Nesta's point of view.
Yeah.
It literally made me so mad. It made me not like Rhysand nearly as much as I used to.
Yeah.
And it was specifically because, like, how dare you not tell her that she's literally probably going to die in childbirth?
Mm-hmm.
What?
And she's smart. She could have helped figure out
how to not die in childbirth. Like,
Yeah.
it's clearly, like, plot armor that she didn't die.
Mm-hmm.
But I do feel like, what in the world was that? Like, I knew the whole time I was reading A Court of Frost and Starlight, not what I meant, A Court of Silver Flames. I knew the whole time that, like, okay, Feyre's got plot armor. She's not killing her off. I can tell you right now, Sarah J. Maas will never kill Feyre.
Mm-hmm.
She won't.
Mm-hmm.
She will never kill Feyre and Rhys. She will never kill Aelin and Rowan. She will never kill Bryson Hunt. I can tell you that right now. She will not. I feel that.
I don't care about Hunt
but
at all.
she won't.
No.
But she won't.
No.
And especially not Feyre. She will never kill Feyre.
No.
And so I was like, this is a little bit of a stupid plot.
Come on now. Feyre and Rhys, that's her and her husband.
I know. It's literally her and Josh. So everybody knew Feyre wasn't going to die at that point. But it is like, why even make that this, like, plot point of, like, oh my gosh, she might die in childbirth. She's never going to make it. I don't know. That whole plot point made me mad. It made me really mad that Rhys didn't tell her the whole time. He just let her give birth and almost die.
Mm-hmm.
If it wasn't for Nesta, she would have died.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. The whole thing just made me really mad.
So, like, I see how they're
I
not
do see
couple goals necessarily, but I don't think they're
But
a
in A
toxic
Court of Mist and
couple.
Fury,
No.
that's them at their peak. That's their prime right there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, not in that one. But I do see it in some aspects. But hey, everybody's got a little bit of...
Yeah. Like, I
Issues.
love Nesta and Cass.
Yeah, they also got their own fair share of issues.
Like,
So
that's my fave.
okay, Tamlin was unfairly demonized.
Right.
I knew you were gonna
Correct.
agree. Okay, don't get me wrong.
I hated him.
Hated him.
But
Still hate him just a bit.
Yes. Definitely
But
not happy with the
could
man.
there be character growth?
Absolutely.
100%. Is there
Yes.
room for growth and for development and for him to get his whole own story?
Yes.
There is.
Rebuilding the spring court.
Let's do it.
Learning from our
Listen.
bad decisions.
Listen,
Finding love.
I've seen people hate on the spring court. There's even like, would you rather live in the spring court or live under the mountain type of questions? And
Yeah.
it's like,
Spring Court wasn't that bad.
The Spring Court is nowhere near as bad as Under the Mountain. Can we all agree on that? You're telling me that if you got the option to go flutter around
in flowers
in
warmth?
cottagecore world with fae people, you would say no? No.
As opposed to Under a Mountain with like Amarantha. Come on now.
Okay, my camera battery died. So let's keep going. We are back. Okay, so continuing on that question, we both agree. Tamlin was unfairly demonized.
And we both were the problem as well.
We both were the problem? Feeding into the Tamlin hate?
Yes. Real hard. We used to call him Tampon the trash can. I forgot about that. Yeah.
We hated him so bad. We were hating on him hard. It started because we used to call him Tamlin the tampon. Yeah. And then Tamlin the trash can. Yeah. And one time we were talking and we accidentally said tampon the trash can. Yeah. And we were like,
there it is.
There it is. There it is. Tamlin the tampon trash can. We hated him so much. And I do feel like that was just, I don't think it was specifically called for. Now, I will remind you of the nasty things he said.
I agree.
Yeah, I agree. Don't think that he was
like him.
A good guy by any means, or that he did good things. But I do think he
has redemptive qualities that could lead to a great story.
Especially if we're saying, like, we also, I mean, we didn't hate Reese, but we were set up to hate Reese in the beginning as well. He also did bad things. Yeah. So it's like, do I think, he can be redeemed just like all of the other alpha males in this whole universe. So I'm here for it. I'm here for a Tamlin redemption arc. Moving on. Nesta is the best Archeron sister.
I agree.
I knew you were going to agree with that.
She's my favorite. I love her because I am her. She is me. We are each other.
Would say
she also has the best bad boy in my opinion as well.
I don't think she's the best, but
we all know it's not Elaine, so we can agree on that one.
But I will say, I feel like how do you pick a best out of the three? They all kind of suck.
Yeah, I would say Feyre can win just because she took care of them. Yeah, as a 16-year-old human girl.
Yeah. I feel like as much as Nesta has grown to where she is at the end of Silver Flames, I still feel like it doesn't completely erase all the crap that she put her sister through before that. And that was not cool or fair or loving. And so it's like, I definitely can't say that she is the best Archeron sister because she kind of sucks in the beginning. But she does have a good redemption arc.
Is Feyre even the best one either?
Feyre also sucks in her own way. Yeah. So, but we love her. Yeah. So, but they all have their own quirks. Yeah. I also feel like Elaine, as boring as she is, and as much as people hate her, I think that she also deserves a really cool story of her own.
I think I said this in the last video that we did.
Yeah, I don't know. Go ahead and say it.
I want Elaine to go bad. To become a seer or whatever.
Yeah, you have
become bad. Infiltrate Spring Court. Kill Tamlin. One of those storylines I'm totally fine with, but I think that's sick. Make her go dark. Yeah. Where you would think it would be Nesta.
Yeah, that would be the bad one.
The voices in the girl's head.
Yeah, that's true.
You know.
Plus, I feel like Elaine would totally be the sister that would give in to
to it, like
to the darkness. Yeah. Whereas, like, Nesta has felt the pull of darkness, but has never given in to it.
And, like,
but I feel like
Feyre literally looked into the Aureole Borealis thingy, whatever, Aureoris. Aureoris! What is it called? The little mirror thing. Yeah. And she saw what she saw, and she's still, like, you know. Yep. And she's been through it.
Yeah. But Elaine?
I feel like she could...
She could turn bad. Yeah. She could turn dark. Yeah. I could see it. Yeah. Especially giving the flowery good girl vibe.
And then what she got from the cauldron.
I feel like it could be like a...
It'd be so good.
It would be good.
Like, let's not do a
It would
love
be
story
good.
with her and Az. Let's make her bad. Let's make her become the next villain, and they have to kill her sister. That'd be great.
I'm almost positive Sarah J. Maas has confirmed that the next book is about Azriel, right?
No, I think, not
Elaine. Okay. It's always been in
know.
question since the day we knew that she was going to continue to write. Yeah. That was it Elaine or Azriel that was going to be the next book, and I'm almost positive that she has said it's Azriel.
Yeah.
Which is very interesting because the last book was 100% Nesta's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you would think...
Especially Silver Flames. Like, that was not Cassian's book.
No.
It was Nesta's book.
So you would think she would do Elaine.
You would think that she would do Elaine. But she's not.
Yeah.
Unless Elaine's going to get her own book later. Maybe Azriel's mate is not... Well,
it's not
Elaine. No, it's not Elaine.
Unless we can do 2 mates now.
Yeah.
Which I wouldn't put past her, honestly.
Yeah, hopefully not. Honestly,
Lucian was a
let her leave her mate and just fall in love with somebody else.
Yeah.
Can we do that?
Well, I prefer her to go dark.
Okay, or go dark.
I would be fine with her going dark, infiltrating Springcourt, like making Tamlin fall in love, and have 2 different things. Either kill him and take over and rule, or they fall in love
with Tamlin.
And Tamlin and her become bad, and they're the new villains. They try and take the whole thing.
That could be
I think that would be sweet.
Yeah.
And they have to, kill their sister.
Yeah, that would be crazy.
You know?
It'd be wild.
Lucian would have to kill his best friend.
So, there's potential.
So much potential.
There's potential. We'll see.
And I want it to be, actual... kill some people.
Yeah,
kill some people.
Let's kill some people.
Throne of Glass, I loved because she was ruthless.
She was ruthless.
She made us love someone and then killed them.
Yeah.
Over and over and over. Honestly, I think in the last book she should have killed one of the main. Leave Aelin dead or something.
I was gonna say, I understand leading up to the last book why she kept as many people as she did alive, because Aelin
literally wish some more people died
to make it
I wish
believable that she won the war.
And the baby died, which made Cole.
Which would have made Chaol die.
Chaol died.
Cole. Yes, Chaol would have died because he was connected to Irene through that,
and she was pregnant. All of it.
Yes, that would have been insane if she died while fighting that final battle, winning that.
Yes,
that would have been
where everyone still could live happy ever after because she did it.
I'm not gonna lie. When I first read the series, all I had heard about Kingdom of Ash was oh my gosh, I bawled my eyes out. This was this just tore me to shreds. This was so devastating, and because all I had heard, not only from you, but from social media at this point, it was hitting. I was on booktube at that point, watching videos of people talk about the series, and it had my expectations set that people were going to die.
Yeah.
I thought possibly even Aelin and Rowan.
She did, and she should have stayed dead.
She should have stayed dead.
I wish she stayed dead.
I love Aelin. I love Aelin. Don't get me wrong. But I do feel
Lorcan could have died.
Yes, someone. Adian.
There was so many people.
Imagine Adian.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, it would have been, I don't know. It just would have been gut-wrenching if
she set up so
major
many
character
people
died.
In the place to where they could die, and then she's like, nah.
And then she's like, nah, they're all good.
No,
they're all good.
Kill them.
Very few people died, other than the 13. That was a big loss.
That was a big loss.
That was a big loss.
But at the same time, it wasn't as big of a loss as everyone likes to say it is.
Yeah,
we all know every single 13.
Yeah, no, it was really just Astrid. Yeah, it was Astrid that we were all upset about. Yeah. That's the only one we really knew about. Yeah. I mean, I can't even name other ones this minute.
Briar.
Yeah.
Who's the third? Sorrel.
Sorrel.
Fallon and
yeah.
Something.
I don't know.
Yeah. Crap.
Again, time for a reread.
I think it is. For sure.
Yeah, anyways, moving on. The next question, we totally got back onto TOG.
See, I can't help it. That's my favorite one.
Aelin,
wait, what?
Why do I keep doing that? Elaine. I've done that twice where I've swapped their names. Elaine is boring. We already kind of touched on this, but it says, but also deserves more.
Yeah.
She gets hated for being passive, but others think she's just underwritten. Honestly, I also think she's underwritten.
I think that's the thing. I don't think she's
boring,
or even if passive is a trait of hers, that's fine.
Yeah,
it's just she's
fine.
Underwrote. There's not much of her there.
She's underwritten. I feel like we just don't see her point of view ever.
Yeah.
Never, ever do we
Yeah.
get Elaine's point of view in any of the books.
We get a touch of her personality when she makes the headache oil for
A
Az.
tiny bit.
Literally, where she's like, oh, I noticed. And
Yeah.
like, I did this funny thing.
Yeah.
That's
And
a
that's
little bit
it.
of who she is.
That's it.
But everything else,
I feel like
she likes
either
flowers.
in Asriel's book we're going to see it.
Yeah.
Or
we'll get a book.
if Asriel and Elaine don't end up together, then I think we'll get her own book.
I hope so.
Because I would be really, really shocked if Sarah J. Maas was just like, no, we just don't like Elaine.
Yeah.
Like, that would just be so shocking.
Yeah.
I think she's also got a whole character arc for her as well, which might be why she's not writing about her yet. She might, I don't know, maybe go dark and have her own story.
Please.
Oh, that's funny.
It'd be unexpected in a good way.
It would be unexpected. It would be very
That's
unexpected.
what I want personally.
Okay, next one.
Oh gosh, what?
Cassian and Nesta don't make sense.
No.
Their dynamic
No.
is polarizing.
No.
Either
No.
people love
No.
either people love the enemies to lovers or think it's a toxic mismatch.
No.
I also don't agree with
I was
that.
like, you better not.
No, I don't agree with that.
No, I think they work perfectly for each other.
I do think that they fit perfectly. I feel like Cassian loves to have to work for it.
Yeah.
He loves to have to play the cat and mouse game.
Yeah.
And she feeds right into it. Like she...
And then when they're together, they're
together.
They're good.
They're good, yeah.
It's no one else. Well,
that's the thought about someone else.
Okay. In the bedroom, a little different. Okay. Over there.
Like it's no one else. Did Nesta say it's no one else?
Well, you know what I mean.
Yeah, no, I do know what you mean.
Yeah.
And I agree. I do think that they actually fit each other well. I feel like, unfortunately for me, Nesta and Cassian are probably my least favorite of the girl and guys.
Okay.
I know. It's that in and of itself is probably an unpopular opinion. I feel like a lot of people don't agree with that.
Yeah.
But it's just a personal opinion.
I think a lot
like
of it has to do with like who you are as a person.
Yeah.
Like you
and just that
you don't see yourself really in Nesta, and you don't see Jack and Cassian at all.
Yeah, it's just very
like you can like them.
Yeah.
But you don't.
And
you know.
Yeah, I think it's not just that I don't see myself in them, but I also can't even understand them.
Yes,
like in their decisions sometimes, especially Nesta. It's like sometimes I just cannot even understand the decisions that are made, and I'm like, see, this is why I don't like reading from your perspective, because I'm just mad the whole time. Like, I'm like, why would you do that? Not the whole time, but sometimes.
A lot of
Especially even from Feyre's point of view, because Feyre's the same way. She does not understand why Nesta does the way the things that she does.
Yeah.
And so it's like, from reading from Feyre's point of view about Nesta, I'm like, dude, I couldn't care less.
Yeah.
Get off the page.
Yeah. All right.
It's my own personal opinion.
All right.
Might be an unpopular one, and that's okay. You don't agree with that.
Might be wrong, but...
I might be wrong. Oh, that's funny. Okay, Inner Circle is overrated.
Come on now, you all want to be a part of it.
I know.
Come on.
Everybody wants to be part of the Inner Circle.
Come on.
I feel like...
And, okay,
I couldn't remember.
They're just friends, guys. Like, every single one of these books, there's an inner circle. It's just the cast of characters.
Yeah.
Chill out.
Yeah.
Like...
I have also heard an unpopular opinion, and I don't think it's in here, but it's another one that said the Inner Circle is too cliquey. And I feel like that one is also interesting. So hearing it's overrated and that it's cliquey is like, I just don't, I don't know.
I can, like, see maybe how it's cliquey, because, like, Nesta and Elaine and Lucian, all of them trying to get into, like, them. But it's like, they're running a court.
Yeah.
Like, the Inner Circle specifically is to run a kingdom, basically.
They also let Nesta in.
Yes.
They also let Elaine in, and they let Lucian in.
Yeah. Like, it's
so
not
maybe
like,
they're not besties just yet, but give it a few books, they'll get there.
They have
these people
the rest
have been
of their
friends
lives, which is
for
forever.
hundreds of years. Think about that. Like, Rhys has been friends Moore's his cousin.
First of all.
Let's talk about that for a second. Moore's his cousin.
And Castor races brothers with
Exactly.
Reese.
And
Amren's crazy.
Amren. They're scared to not let her in.
Yes.
I mean...
And obviously Feyre's a mate.
And
Nesta's a mate. Elaine's sisters to those two mates.
Yep.
You know?
Yep. I just feel like, yeah.
No.
I don't think it's clicky. I think that if we saw somebody else trying to work their way into the court and them just completely shutting them out, that would be different. But I don't think we see that.
No.
Even just when Reese goes to the spring court and like checks on Tamlin. Do you remember that? And Tamlin's like laying in the middle of the dining room or something, like weird. The empty mansion.
Yeah.
And he's just like completely by himself, and like Reese even goes to check on him. It's like even things like that is like, I don't know. I just don't. I don't know. I don't agree with that. ACOTAR should have ended at book 2. I think the series peaked at Court of Mist and Fury and went downhill after that.
I would agree. If I'm being so dead honest.
Really? That you think it should have ended
not
there?
Ended, but it definitely peaked. Yeah.
It definitely peaked at book 2. But I don't think it should have ended there.
No, I think ACOWAR, like, was good.
I think it could have ended at ACOWAR, though. Yeah. We could drop off the last 2 and I'd be okay. We'd survive.
We would have been.
We would have been A-okay.
Like, hot take, ACOSF did not need to be that long. Yeah.
It really didn't. It did not need to be the longest book in the series.
Yeah, it really
by
didn't.
any means. Also, A Quarter of Frost and Starlight could have been erased from the series, and I would have never cared. No. Just tell us that Faye was pregnant in one of the other books, and we would have been good.
It would have been fine. Yeah. And
give us an epilogue in A Court of Wings and Ruin that said Faye was pregnant.
Yeah.
Happy little wintry time. Forget the other book.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's,
Yeah.
That could have been dropped out.
I do think, though, that Echo Math was peak.
Yes,
and that I agree. Echo, which is not normal. Second book syndrome?
Normally, second book syndrome is bad. In a fantasy series, second book is almost always terrible. Yes.
And it was one of my favorite books of all time.
Yeah, ever. Yep.
So.
Yeah, that is crazy. But I think the ACOWAR was, like, super important to the plot of the whole series. Very, very important.
I agree. Yeah.
I mean, it literally tied up
everything.
Everything. There's a literal war going on between all of the kingdoms. So maybe their relationship peaked at A Court of Mist and Fury, but I don't think that the plot peaked. No, there was so much more to come.
Yeah.
Okay, moving on to Crescent City. Number 1. Bryce is the least interesting SJM protagonist.
I agree.
Oh, I agree.
Yeah. Yeah.
We love her.
We do love her. She just went so different.
Yeah, she swung so far the other way that it was just like,
oh, hello.
Oh, hello. Who are you?
Yeah.
And like being the newest. Yeah. It would be so different. Imagine that Bryce was the first ever SJM protagonist, and then she wrote Feyre and Aelin. I think people would have loved Bryce, and they would have been like, who the heck is this Aelin chick?
Yeah.
Who does she think she is?
Yeah.
But just because she was like the newest protagonist and the most different, the most drastically different, it just...
Yeah. And with how the world was too, and just all of it.
All of it.
She's not my favorite. Rough. She's like the bottom for me. I really don't.
Me too.
Yeah.
Okay, Hunt is boring.
I would also agree. Very boring, man.
I also agree.
Boring. Put your little sunball cap on and shut up. I don't know.
Yeah.
There's scenes that I like when she's like washing him in the shower. Like those
gotta love a who did this to you moment. She didn't say who did this to you, but it gave the vibes of who did this to you.
Rowan and Aelin
exactly. Exactly. That's why we loved it so much. Yeah. It was like so reminiscent of a different
stuff
series.
Like that, but I feel like so much of his past was never flushed out.
Yeah.
And it made me not care.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, you were in love with some crazy lady who has a twin who's also crazy. Okay.
Yeah. 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 They're kind of boring. We agree. Yeah. Moving on. We agree. Okay, too much world building, not enough clarity.
So fair.
Also fair.
So fair.
Also really fair.
But
Why
also,
is there 400 pages of world building and then a plot?
But I still don't understand the world.
Honestly, though.
I don't know what's going on. I don't know who the archangels are. Yeah. I still don't know. And I've reread the books.
I still don't understand. Yeah, me too.
I still don't. I still think they're great books.
Yeah.
They're some of my favorites.
I still love them. And I have reread them for pure enjoyment, not because I feel like I have to or something. But I do agree with that. Yeah. There is so much world building and still no clarity.
Unsure about life. Yeah.
Okay. Mm-hmm. The ending of House of Sky and Breath was too much.
What was it?
Her landing in Prithian.
Oh no, that was just enough.
It was literally
perfect. It was perfect.
I'm sorry, but that was perfect. Perfect. Oh, the only thing that made that series outshine, not like outshine the other two, but just
actually have
something really good was that, or even something that made it feel connected to the other two, because
it felt very disjointed.
It felt so disjointed.
When I read
from the other books.
First one, I was like, I don't like this.
The first time you read it, you were like, I'm not reading the rest of the series. I don't like this.
Yeah.
I was like,
I don't know what this is, but this is not what I like.
Yep.
So
yeah, but
it did grow on me.
It did grow. Yeah. I think that,
and I do love Crescent City, like the first book.
You read it first, so I knew what to expect of the series. I knew that it was going to be really different. I read it, and then I was like, okay, reread this in a new light, because this is actually really enjoyable.
Yeah.
If you don't have
so many preconceived notions
of what you think this book is going to be.
Or should be.
Yeah. Because it was good.
It was. It's one of my favorite books. The first Crescent City book is like...
I still love it.
Lahaba?
I love Lahaba so much. She is like one of the side characters that actually stands out to me the most of any of the books.
I would agree. Yeah.
I love Lahaba. She's like one of my favorites.
She's very much Sam-coded.
Yeah.
My friends are with me and I will not be afraid.
Yes. Oh.
Sam.
Miss Lahaba. Rest in peace, Lahaba.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh. Danica's a bad friend.
Yeah.
Her actions in House of Earth and Blood made some readers lose sympathy for her.
I never had sympathy for her.
I didn't either. I didn't really like her from the start.
No.
Never liked her. No. Even as the series continued and you learned more about her, I was like, nope, don't like her.
Like, you're saying all these things, like, you're saying, like, your best friends and, like, your sisters and whatever, and then she knows absolutely nothing about your life is crazy.
Yeah.
Like, that...
Nothing?
That she had a whole mate? A whole mate?
None of it.
Whole mate.
Yep. Bad friend.
Everything.
She knew nothing. I actually don't even think they were real best friends. Like, no. I just feel like there's no way.
It's more like a mission.
Yeah.
For Danica. It felt.
Yeah.
Like.
Yeah, that's such a bummer, but it is.
But I feel, yeah.
And that is actually all for Crescent City. There wasn't many, but we agreed with almost all of them. Except for one.
Well, that tells me exactly my ranking right there. I agree with none of Throne of Glass. some of
ACOTAR, but
all of Crescent City.
Yeah.
Makes perfect sense for me.
Okay, there's only a couple more. Okay. So, Sarah J. Maas doesn't finish character arcs well. Some say character arcs are either ignored or forced to be too happy of endings.
I would say too happy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes too happy of endings. I wouldn't say that character arcs are ignored.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
She does give everybody
she's
a happy
ending girly.
She is.
And
a part of me loves her for that. But another part of me is like, you write these total crazy plots and these crazy wars and these crazy things, and then like you're telling me every single person is going to end up happily married to their mate and having children,
and the world is all good,
and the world is all happy.
Everything was
dandy.
Defeated, and we're all good in the hood.
Yeah.
No.
Mm-mm. Okay, the hype is more about fan culture than the books themselves. The aesthetic, romance, fan art, and TikTok edits sell more than the story quality.
Okay, I don't agree with that because I'm not on it, like any of that. I'm hardly on Instagram anymore. I've never had TikTok. I barely watch YouTube. When I used to watch it a lot.
I feel like okay, the TikTok thing might have been for a minute there.
For sure.
Like during
when TOG became popular, ACOTAR.
ACOTAR. Yeah, so it got crazy on... And I do think that it's still one of the most recommended books on TikTok. For a reason. I think for a reason.
It's... Sarah J. Maas being the author that made so many people who didn't read says something about her writing, not about how social media is.
Yeah, no, I agree. And it was a very, very, very popular series before it hit TikTok.
Yeah.
Anyways, this is the absolute last one of the whole video.
What do we got?
SJM books are not adult fantasy. They're upper YA in disguise.
No.
You would say that they're adult fantasy?
I would say ACOTAR is.
Okay.
Crescent City is. TOG, I would say it's disguised.
Yeah.
Disguised YA. And that's probably why I love it the most.
Probably.
Because it's the aspects of adult fantasy that I can still relate to it as an adult.
Yeah.
But all the YA nostalgia that I will never leave.
Yep.
So
I actually could agree with that partly with ACOTAR as well.
Well, the first book.
Yeah. Well, okay, here's my thing. Just because there's spice doesn't mean that it reads like an adult book.
I agree. Yeah.
So I feel like Farrah still always acts like a young adult.
That's so fair. That's fair.
Like, married and having a baby still kind of acts like a young adult.
Fair.
Just a little. Mm-hmm. Just a little. Mm-hmm. Like, I do think that's why I would say that it's almost like TOG is young adult, ACOTAR is new adult, and Crescent City is adult. That's how I would categorize them. If somebody asked me right now, like, what category is ACOTAR in, I would say new adult.
Yeah. I would agree with that.
It's very much like a mix of both. YA, though. She's not a young adult. Yeah. It's not YA. It's not really appropriate for super young adult. Like, don't let your 12-year-old, 13-year-old...
but...
Yeah.
Should I? No.
Yeah. I feel like it's not appropriate for young adult, but at the same time, it doesn't read really like a super adult fantasy either. Mm-hmm. You know? So, that is the end of our video. That's the end of this big, long,
Sarah J. Maas.
Chatty Sarah J. Maas video.
She's my queen.
All in all, we may have agreed with some of those, but she is literally my favorite author of all time. I love her.
You're here. Yeah. Sarah is
a queen.
Yes, and she is my favorite author of all time.
I literally love her, and I feel like sometimes when people ask me that,
and it makes me mad because
some people
I
are
feel like I can't.
Instant judgy.
Yes.
And I'm like, okay, get over yourself. Yeah. She's absolutely phenomenal and amazing.
She's popular for a reason.
She's popular for a reason. I love her
and
so much.
And I'm an OG, so shut up. I've been here for years.
Yeah.
Since the beginning, basically. Yep. So I can say that she's my favorite, and so can you, because you have to, basically.
And I don't think that...
I don't think
it's
wrong.
If you just read her books
and she's your favorite, you can't.
You can't say she's your favorite. But I feel like it's ever since her books, like, hit TikTok
that it's like, you can't like her.
That, people are either instantly judgy, or it's like, oh, wow, that's the most, like... Basic answer.
Yeah. I'm like, no.
It's basic for a reason. She's amazing.
Yeah.
A lot of people love her books. Yeah.
In my teenage years.
Anyways, that's hot takes of it all. Oh my gosh. Can't word. Can't word. So thank you guys for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed all of the hot takes. We'll definitely have to make another Sarah J. Maas video, chit-chat video.
I can yap about her for
hours. We can yap about books, period. We could just read the same book and yap about a book. Yeah. So, I hope you guys enjoyed. If you're new to my channel, please check out my other videos. I love books. I love fantasy. I love all the things. So, thank you for watching, and see you guys later.